right off Market Street. We had very different childhoods. Me and my boyfriend, we met in real life, which I think is kind of a rarity these days. But it was really awesome because if I had to spend one more minute on a dating app, I was just going to walk off a cliff. You meet the worst people on those things. I had Tinder because I kind of hate myself, but I love attention. And I met with this one guy, and he said he was a comic. He wasn't. But I was like, you know what? This is great. You like comedy. I like comedy. What comedians do you like? And he told me. And it was bad. But I was like, you know what, I'm cool, I'm open. You know, why do you like those comedians? And he thought about it, and he was like, well, I think it's because they really hate women. I said, all of us? He seemed to be the kind of guy who would say not all men, so it was a real tables are turning moment. And he was like, well, maybe not all women, just white women. And then this Tinder boy, who is white, by the way, goes on this very long rant about how much he hates women, white women. They are awful, they are evil, they should all die. How low was the brightness on his screen when he matched with me? I am live, laugh, love levels of white. Neither of my parents pronounced Chipotle correctly. No, Mom, we can't go to Chipotle, not till you say it right. I do love Chipotle, but I eat their fake meat, so I feel like every time I go, it's just a roll of a dice to see if I die from cholera. Whatever the fuck they're giving people out here. But, you know, I am a vegetarian. I've been a vegetarian for over 10 years now. That is the proper reaction. Anybody who woos for that is the kind of person who likes to put vegetables in baked goods. No one should be their friend. This cake tastes interesting. Thinks I put zucchini in it. Why, Emily? It doesn't make it healthy. It just makes it weird. When you're a vegetarian or a vegan or that one diet where you only eat butter, you know, whenever you have a diet, people love to ask questions, right? Like, why? Why? And then you lie, or at least I do. You know, I can be like, oh, I just really love animals, or, you know, rant about the environmental impacts the meat industry has on the world. In reality, I became a vegetarian when I was 15 because it was cool and trendy, but then everybody told me I was doing it because it was cool and trendy, so I kept doing it out of spite, and now if I eat chicken, I'll throw up on you. I'm stuck like this. It's a prison. People love to ask questions, though, and sometimes the questions can get a little silly. Like a lot of people, mostly teenage boys, are very concerned about what I'm going to do when the apocalypse hits. They're like, yeah, but when zombies come, you're going to have to hide in the woods, and you're going to have to hunt deer and eat them if you want to make it. Kyle, you are wildly overestimating my survival skills and my will to live. If the zombie apocalypse happens, I'm out. I didn't have Wi-Fi for 3 days, and I was like, yeah, this is the end, I'm good. My favorite question that I've ever been asked, and I've been asked it on more than one occasion, is, if a cow, and they always sound like that, if a cow, if it jumped onto a grill and begged you to eat it, would you? No, of course not. I just not a talking cow. That is a literal cash cow. I'm not going to eat that investment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a handlebar mustache and one of those hats, and I'm going to be a carnival barker. I'll be like, $5 to see the suicidal talking cow, and I'll make a ton of money. And then me and the cow, we can buy a barn and a farm, and I can put the cow in therapy so it hates its life a little less, and we'll live happily ever after. I just love animals. Before I leave, I feel like I should leave you with some dating advice for anyone still on those apps. People with penises, don't tell a girl you have a big dick. That doesn't sound like fun. That sounds like work. I was with a guy once sexually, and he whipped it out, and it was a foot long, and not that Subway shit, like actually 12 inches. I took one look, and I was like, that's not going inside me. Look, I am 5 feet tall. I don't want to be 1/5 dick. That's the